that we have this wired up, we can actually get data from Firebase. Let's actually also get so that when we click a folder, right now it's just printing the folder and the unique identifier for the folder. I want you to be able to, when you click a folder, it should actually open the next folder, right? So we should start getting more data from Firebase. And again, Firebase pretty much just looks like this. So if I go in here, the folders has a list of subfolders. Right now it has a subfolder with a unique identifier of AVG. AVG is right here, and then I should open this folder, of course, in my system, and then that should show whatever's inside that folder right here. So let's just try and do that. So right now everything is hooked up. So whenever I click a folder, I'm actually listening inside the folder details. It's going to send an event to the column, and the column is actually going to send an event to the container, and the container is actually going to send an event to the albums. And that's why I already have the code in the albums where the folder click is right now. That's going to be triggered whenever I click a folder inside my actual file details, or folder details, sorry. So we just need to pretty much do the same thing that we did right here. We're going to go and use the folder service right here to get a specific folder. Now with that folder, we're going to add the folder to the column. And this lesson, let's just do it just like we did it right here, very basically, and just use the folder service. We'll change this later to make it more dynamic. But for now, let's just get the folder with this. Now we have the folder available, and that means that we also have a unique identifier available right here. Unique ID, there we go. And with that unique identifier, we can actually get the folder. Now I'm going to do the first, and then I'm going to do a subscribe for that. Again, just to do this once instead of keep listening. And when I subscribe, I'm getting back a folder, hopefully, right? And then I can use that folder to kind of do the exact same thing that we've done up here. Just add the folder and add the column. Now notice we have duplicate code now. Now when we see duplicate code, what do? Well, we should, when we see duplicate code, start making functions so we don't have to have duplicate code. I'm just going to rename this guy folder.db because I already used the name folder up here. So let's just rename that folder.db, and then this should actually work now. The folder.db is going to be added as a folder column, and then it's going to be pushed. And we'll get back to the duplicate code later on. So let's just try and click the folder now. And there we go. We got another folder from Firebase. Clicking this folder. Boop. And we got another folder from Firebase. Seems to be working. So now we can kind of navigate through the folders and get folders from Firebase. We still have a problem. When I click this guy, it'll open up the same folder again. That's wrong. So we need to kind of clean up the folder columns inside this next lesson. But before we do that, I had another issue that I kind of complained about. We're reusing code right here, and that sucks. So I want to figure out how we can at least pull this into a function instead. So we're just going to add a function called add folder to column, right? So add folder, let's just call it that actually, add folder like this. So this is just going to be a way for me to add the folder to the column for now. So I'm just going to copy this code right here. Now to add a folder, what do I need? Well, I need the folder that I want to add. So let's just put in folder right here. That's the main thing I need. And that folder can now be placed inside this guy and added to the column like this. That's how simple it actually is. And the cool thing is that now I can do this.add folder right here instead of actually rewriting the code again and again. So I can say this.add folder. There we go. And then I can put in the folder I want to add, folder.db. There we go. And now we have that done right here. So it's a lot simpler to read also. And I need to do the same thing when I'm subscribing the first time. I also just want to add this folder the first time, right? There we go. So, and of course that's going to be folder instead of folder.db because that's the guy right here. There we go. So now we have this set up and hopefully it still runs. Let's try and check it out. So I'm just going to click the first folder. There we go. Click the second folder. There we go. And the third one, nothing happens because that doesn't have anything in there right now. But I'm actually getting an error right here from the service that says I cannot find UID of null. It seems we have some bug there. Let's just go into the folder service and let's just do a validation right here and say if folder, if there is a folder available, then add the UID, right? So then we won't end up exploding like we just did. So that was just kind of a small bug we had right there. Oop, need a break there. There we go. So that's it for this lesson. Now we don't have an exception. Hopefully, let's see if something else breaks. We can just, oh, something else breaks. Sweet, name of null. So we have another issue right here. I'm a happy guy. Good that we tested this. So when I'm clicking this guy right now, I'm also getting back a folder right here that I'm trying to add. And again, the first thing I do is kind of try to add the folder name, etc. So what we're going to do instead right now is we're going to make a check in here as well. If there is a folder, then do this, right? So it's only if there's a folder available, else you shouldn't even try to add the folder, which makes perfect sense. So hopefully that's it for this lesson. Let's try again. Click, 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 nothing happens. You could pop up and say we don't have subfolders, I don't know. We'll figure it out later, because later on it'll just be an empty folder showing up. But for now, let's just keep this, because we need to shorten the lesson so they don't explode in length. Again, to do the git checkout, it would be 9 right now. So that's all for this lesson. Have fun.